just going to do a nice little half hour stabilizing, strengthening, stretching. Lie down onto your back to begin. Have the knees bent, the feet in line with the sit bones. Shoulder blades flat and broad, arms wide with the palms turned up. And then just relax into the floor for a moment. Letting the breath move naturally. The bones settle, muscles soften. Release into constructive rest pose. Then keeping all excess tension out of the body, we'll bring our attention down to the pelvic floor. Feeling the diamond of the pelvic floor. Engage towards the perineum, squeezing in gently. And then feel your transversus abdominis support belt and wrap it gently around the pelvis and lower back. Feel your inner core working. Then relax that. And again, bring your attention down to the pelvic floor, and as you exhale, shrink the pelvic floor and feel the belt of the transversus wrap around and support your lower torso. And then relax and release. And one more time, draw the attention down to the pelvic floor and gather the diamond of the pelvic floor in, and then gently wrap the belt of the transversus around. Nice and snug, like a broad elastic belt. Imagine it buckling beneath the belly button, so your support is very low and supportive around the pelvis. Now we're going to maintain that support, and then inhale the arms up to vertical. Then re-engage that inner core support and reach the arms back towards the wall behind you, keeping your pelvis steady as you reach back. Inhale the arms up towards the ceiling. Be aware of the humeral heads dropping into the sockets to soften there. And then as you exhale, lower the arms down. Relax all of the work. Again, sinking into gravity's pull. Inhale, and bring the arms up to vertical. And exhale, support your stable pelvis with your inner core as you reach your arms back towards the floor behind you. And inhale, float the arms up. And with the exhale, lower the arms back down to the sides and relax all of the effort. And one more time, inhale, float the arms up to vertical. Exhale, engage the inner core and reach the arms back. We're going to keep the arms back behind. Stay as you inhale and feel how your ribs are flaring and pulling up off of the mat. Then as you exhale, draw your back ribs down into the mat like you're imprinting a stamp into a stamp pad, and pull your front ribs together. Then I'm going to inhale, float the arms up, and keep the inner core and that imprinting and knitting of the ribs working as we lift the head up. And inhale, bring the head down. Maintain the back ribs imprinting to the mat. Keep your inner core working and reach the arms back towards the wall behind you. Neutral spine and stabilized rib cage. Inhale, arms float out. And go into the head lift with you. Exhale. And one more time. Inhale, head down, arms up. And re-engage the core and reach back. Keep those front ribs knitted together, the back ribs imprinting to the mat. And inhale, float the arms up to vertical. Pause for a moment with your arms there. Relax the shoulders. Then let's bring the hands behind the head and interlace the fingers. Open the elbows out nice and wide. Feel the stretch across the front of the chest. Take an inhale, preparing for the inner core. Exhale, gather the pelvic floor, wrap the belt of the transversus around, then imprint and knit your ribs as you're going to go into a head lift. And we're going to stay here and inhale, and then go to crazy fish. Side bend your left elbow toward your left waist. And inhale back to the center. And then exhale, side bend the right elbow towards the right waist. And inhale back to center again. Side bend to the left. Keep the pelvis steady, keep the breastbone facing straight up. Inhale to the center and exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale to the center, one more time. Exhale left, and inhale center, and exhale right, and inhale center. We're going to keep the head lifted and go into our alternate leg lifts. Re-engaging with the low core and the imprinting and knitting of the ribs. Let's lift the right foot up, and we'll flex the foot. Extend the leg out at 45 degrees. Inhale, bend the knee and re-anchor as you lower your foot. Keep the pelvis completely still. Inhale, lift the left. Exhale, flex, extend. And inhale, bend and re-anchor. and lower the foot back down. Again, to the right side, keep the pelvis perfectly still. Reach out through the heel and bend the knee and re-engage as exhale, lower the foot down. Inhale, left foot up. Exhale, flex, extend, reaching through the heel. Inhale, bend the knee and lower back down. One more time, keep the pelvis steady as you bring the right foot up. Exhale, flex, extend. And inhale, bend the knee and re-anchor as you exhale to lower. And inhale, take the left foot up. Exhale, flex, extend. Inhale, bend the knee and re-engage as you exhale to lower. And bring your head down. Relax your arms down to your sides. And give in to gravity's pull, constructive rest pose. And then we'll re-engage the neutral spine, the support of the neutral spine, and raise the right foot up. Imprint the back ribs and lift the left foot up. And we're going to go into the pistons. Exhale, lower one foot down, tap the toe and lift it back up. Keep your neutral spine, keep your back ribs down. Exhale, lower the other foot, and inhale, lift it up. Exhale, right down, tap the toe and lift. Keep your spine stable. Exhale, left down and lift. And again to the right side and up, and the left side and up one more time. Now we're going to keep the feet up in that neutral tabletop. Bend at the elbows to make a cactus position. We'll be pressing the whole backs of the arms down into the mat. If this doesn't work for you, feel free to take your arms straight up to vertical instead. Opening the chest. We're going to keep the arms gently pressing into the floor and then scoop the belly in and draw the thighs in close to the belly. Keep the back of the neck long as you lengthen the lower back. Pause for a moment here in this nice tight little knee hug, and then we're going to roll the knees over to the side and circle them away. Keep your back ribs down. Keep imprinting the back ribs, circle all the way around, scoop back into the center, and then reverse. Feel those back arms and keep pressing the back arms into the floor just slightly. Imprinting the ribs and reverse the circles. And then go the other way. We're going to go one more time each direction. Really scoop the belly in when the knees are in the center. Roll it around. Keep your rib cage still and move. Make all the movement happen below the waist. Now we're going to relax the legs for a moment and bring the arms down to the sides, palms onto the floor. Let's keep the back flat. Press the palms in, imprint and knit, lift the head, extend both legs out, externally rotate the legs. Keep scooping the belly in. Let's go to the 100 with a flat back. Exhale for 5 counts. And inhale, pulse the arms. Exhale for 5 pulses. And inhale, you're scooping your belly into your spine. Exhale for 5. And inhale, drop the shoulders down, keep the chin into the chest. Exhale for 5. And then inhale, exhale, and inhale. Keep your shoulders dropping away from your ears. And inhale. Arms are long and active as though you're pressing down into something. Exhale for 5. And inhale. And exhale for 5. And inhale. Bend the knees. Place one hand on each knee. Lower your head down and drop your knees out wide. And then stir your legs around your hip sockets. Nice loose circles. It's okay if your pelvis is rocking here. And then reverse. And then bring the knees in. And we're going to drop both knees over to the left side, taking a gentle spinal twist. And return to the center. And take both knees over to the right side. Again, gentle twist here. And back to the center. We're going to keep the right knee bent into the chest. Bring both hands onto the right knee and straighten the left leg out onto the floor. Pull the right knee towards the breastbone. Reach the back of the left leg down into the mat and then place your left hand on your front left thigh and pull your right knee to your right armpit. Keep your pelvis balanced. Don't rock the pelvis over to the right. Keep your left hip down. Your left leg straight down, and then come back to the center. extend that right leg all the way up to the ceiling and point the toes. Then flex the foot and point and flex and point, flex and point. We're going to stabilize the pelvis and the ribs and circle the leg round. Keep your pelvis steady, keep your back ribs down, your front ribs imprinting. Doing 5 circles. And then we'll reverse and do 5 the other way. And then we're going to bring the right knee to the chest and bring the left leg in to join it. Feel your lower back stretch and gently rock on the pelvis. And then straighten the right leg out onto the floor. Pull your left knee towards your breastbone. And we'll place the right hand on the front right thigh and pull your left knee to the left armpit. And then we'll bring the left knee to the center and reach up to the ceiling, straighten the back of the leg and flex the foot back and point and flex, point, flex, point, flex, and point. Maintain your point, steady your pelvis and your ribs. Circle the leg 5 times. You want to keep the pelvis completely still. Feel your belt wrapping around. Keep those back ribs imprinted. Reverse after 5. And then we'll bend the knee and pull both knees into the chest. Bring the feet back up into a neutral tabletop. Relax the arms. Reset the inner core, imprint and knit the ribs. Lower the right foot down and then the left foot down. And relax. And we're going to get the small ball and do some roll-ups. Let's hold the ball above the breastbone. Engage the low core. I'm going to tilt the pelvis. Imprint and knit your ribs. And keep that pelvis tilted as we straighten one leg out. And then the other. And keep flattening your spine towards the mat as you reach your arms back towards the floor behind you. Scoop the belly button into the spine. And then we're going to roll up 1 vertebra at a time. Coming up to sit. Lengthening up tall on the sit bones. And then lean forward over the legs without reaching. Relax the neck and shoulders. Then we're going to sit tall and hold the ball in front of the breastbone. Relax the shoulders away from the ears. Draw the navel to the spine and slowly come down. Keep your shoulders dropped as you roll through the spine. And keep your back flat. Reach all the way back towards the wall behind you. And then relax. Feel your back go into a big arch. And then reset your inner core and tilt the pelvis. Scoop the belly into the spine. Imprint the back ribs into the front. And then inhale to sit up. Roll yourself up. And then lean forward over the legs. Lengthening the front of the body as you stretch the legs and relax the neck. Let your elbows be bent. And then we'll sit tall and hold the ball in front of the breastbone. Relax the shoulders. And once again, roll down 1 vertebra at a time. I wasn't expecting the plow to show up right now. And keep your back flat as you reach back. And then relax into neutral. And let the back arch. Let's do it 1 more time. Engage the inner core. Tilt the pelvis, scooping the belly in. Imprint and knit the ribs. And inhale, roll up. Sit tall and then lengthen without reaching. Hang down over the legs. So we're going to keep the shoulders relaxed. Think more of the crown of the head moving towards the feet than the crown of the head moving towards the knees. Think of your breastbone moving away from your navel. Getting as much length forward as you can rather than trying to get your head down to your legs. And sit up tall. Relax the shoulders and scoop the belly. And roll it down 1 last time. Nice and slow, 1 vertebra at a time. Pulling the navel into the spine. Flatten the back, keep it flat as you reach back. Continuing to flatten it until you're all the way back. and then relax. And then let's put the ball down. And we're gonna take a little side bend, keeping the whole back of the body on the mat. Walk the feet a little to the left, and the upper body a little to the left. Reach down with your right hip and your right ribs. Cross your right foot over the left. Grab your right wrist and lengthen. Breathe into that right side. And then let's come to the center, lengthen up, and keep the whole back of the body on the mat as you walk the feet a little to the right. Tilt the upper body to the right, left ankle over the right, hold your left wrist. Reach down into the mat with your left hip and your left ribs and stretch your left side. And then lengthen up, long through both arms and both legs. We'll float the arms to the ceiling, and then bring the knees back into the bent position, constructive rest pose. And rest a moment there. Okay, let's do the abdominal series. And reset the inner core, imprint into the ribs, neutral spine, lift the left foot up, and keep the ribs nicely imprinted as you lift the right foot up. And go into the single leg stretch. We're going to raise the head, both hands coming to the bent knee and straighten the other leg out, and then switch, and switch. Keep the elbows lifted high and wide, the chin into the chest. And then let's bend both knees without flattening the back. One hand on each knee, going into the double leg stretch. Keeping your neutral spine, back ribs imprinted. Exhale, reach your arms back and your legs out. And inhale, bend the knees and circle the arms to meet them. Exhale, extend out from your center. And inhale, come back in. Maintain your stable pelvis and your imprinted back ribs. Inhale to come back in without pulling the knees in too far. And come back around, keeping your neutral. Exhale, reach. Inhale, come back in. One more time. We're going to reach out and go straight into the single straight leg. So we'll take one leg up, one leg down, and then switch. And keep maintaining your neutral lower spine, elbows high and wide, chin into the chest. Nice long stretch through both legs. And then let's take both legs up, support the head, stabilize the neutral, imprint the back ribs and lower the legs down slightly and lift them back up. If you're doing this with a flat back, that's fine, but you're going to make sure that you stay flat when the legs lower down. You want to keep the pelvis position steady. Keep considering those back ribs. Knit the front ribs together. Come on back up and then bend the knees. We're staying neutral and go into the crisscross. Bicycle the legs. Make sure you're turning your breastbone. Keep your elbows out nice and wide. Steady on the pelvis. We got a lot of movement going on here, but the pelvis does not rock. Okay, knees into the chest, head down. Relax your neck, turn your head from side to side. Let's turn over onto the stomach. And lengthen the arms out long in front of you, forehead on the floor. Engage the inner core and knit the ribs. Gently press your palms down and raise your chest and your head, drawing your shoulders down your back. Now we're going to reassert that belt. Make sure you've got your belt hugged around your pelvis, your sacrum, your low belly and back. We're going to raise both arms and both legs and go into swimming. If this is too much for the shoulders, bring your hands underneath your forehead. Keep the pelvis still, and then lower down. And let's go to a child's pose to stretch the back out. And then we'll turn on to the left side. And stretch out long on the left side. Bring the right hip slightly forward. So you're a little bit tilted forward with the right hip. Engage the inner core. Take your organ lift. Neck and shoulders stay relaxed and comfortable as you lift both legs up. And then we're taking the top leg up and down 5 times. And the bottom leg down and up 5 times. Let's scissor both legs forward and back 5 times. And to the center. Take your top leg and circle it 5 times. And reverse. Now we're going to keep the top leg up, lower the bottom leg down. Really point through that leg long and then roll the leg in, internal rotation, without bending your foot. Keep your ankle long and then bring the foot towards the floor behind you 5 times. Reaching down with internal rotation. And then come back up. We're going to go to external rotation and flex the foot and take the heel down to the front 5 times. Then come back into the center, re-engage your organ lift, lift the bottom leg up, and then flex the feet back and squeeze the toes, point the feet and fan the toes, flex back and squeeze, point and fan, one more time, flex, squeeze, point, fan, and come back. Open your toes and reach out, squeeze your toes and come back in. Open the toes and stretch out, squeeze the toes and retract one more time, reach, squeeze and pull back, lower the legs down. We're going to keep the thighs right where they are and bend at the knees. Engage your inner core, take your organ lift, and roll the right leg out in the socket 10 times, making sure you keep that right hip slightly forward. Relax that. And we're going to come all the way into a 90-degree hip flexion, bringing the knees and the feet to the front of the mat. Relax the neck and shoulders. Draw that right hip forward so that the right knee is a little ahead of the left. Re-engage your inner core. Find your pelvic floor, find your belt, and then roll the right leg out in the socket 10 times. Keep your pelvis steady. Relax. Then let's bring the knees to 45-degree hip flexion. Position between the two that we already have done. Relax into gravity here. Bring your right elbow and put it on your right waist. Engage your inner core. Stabilize the pelvis, and then we're going to externally rotate the leg and the hand 10 times, or the arm 10 times. Keep your elbow down and lift the hand. Keep your pelvis steady and lift the knee. And relax. And we'll switch to the other side. Coming to lie out long on your right side. Bring the feet a little forward of the hips and then rock your left hip forward slightly. Relax the neck and shoulders. Engage the inner core. Take your organ lift, lift both legs up, and then take your top leg up and down 5 times. And then your bottom leg down and up 5 times. And squeeze the inner thighs, then forward and back with both legs. Keep your hips still and your ribs and your shoulders still. Then return to the center, squeeze the inner thighs, and take the top leg and circle it 5 times in each direction. Reverse. Now we're going to keep the top leg up and lower the bottom leg. Keep your leg nice and long. Point the toes and roll in at the top of the hip socket. That's your leg, not your pelvis that's rolling. And then lower the toes down towards the floor behind you 5 times, staying internally rotated. And then lift, externally rotate. That's your leg, not your pelvis that's moving. Flex your foot, and then drop the heel down towards the floor in the front 5 times. Pelvis is steady, externally rotated in the leg. And then we'll bring both legs back up into the center and flex the feet back. Squeeze the toes, point the feet, fan the toes, and flex back. Squeeze, point, fan, flex, squeeze, point, fan, flex. Toes stay open and reach out. Squeeze your toes and pull back. Open and reach, squeeze, and come back one more time. And relax the legs down. Keep your thighs right where they are and bend the knees so your feet are behind you. Engage your inner core. Steady the pelvis, and let's do 10 rotations. Make sure your left hip stays forward. Relax, and we'll move to a 90-degree hip flexion. Knees and feet at the front of the mat. Roll your left hip forward a little bit so your knees are stacked. Even the left knee can be a little bit in front. Engage your inner core, and then roll the leg out in the socket 10 times. Then relax, and we're going to move to the 45-degree hip flexion. Again, top hip forward, left knee slightly forward off the right. We're going to bring the left elbow and place it on the left waist. Engage the core and keep your elbow and your pelvis steady as you roll out arm and leg in the socket. And relax. I'm going to turn to the back. And bring the right ankle to the left knee. Steady the pelvis and lift the left leg up. We'll just do a 30-second stretch here. Relax the shoulders, stretching the right hip out. Show your breathing as you stretch. Relax the shoulders. Even at the back of the pelvis, try not to tilt to the right side. And then release the left foot down, then the right, and reverse. Place your left ankle to your right knee. Stay even at the back of the pelvis as you lift the right foot up. And find a good stretch in the left buttock muscle. Even at the back of the pelvis, relaxing the shoulders, lengthen at the back of the neck. Slow breathing. Release the right foot down and then the left. Take a moment. And we're going to come up onto all fours. Hands directed under the shoulders, knees under the hips. Neutral spine, in other words, don't collapse into your spine and don't round it. Just let it be long and relaxed from the crown to the tail. We're going to tuck the toes under. Engage the inner core. Feel your front ribs knitting into each other, and then I'm going to press the hands into the floor and hover the knees up off of the mat without collapsing the lower spine, without rounding the upper back. Stay supportive there, and then with control bring the knees back down. If you feel any discomfort in your lower back, you may need to tuck your tail a little bit, so make sure you're protecting there. Engage the inner core, knit the ribs, press into the floor and hover the knees up. And then bring them back down slowly. One more time. I'm going to support the neutral spine, press into the floor and hover the knees. Now keep wrapping your ribs around and push your hands against the floor to raise your hips up. Keep your knees bent. Get your sit bones as high as you can with your knees bent, pushing the floor away with the hands. Then one leg at a time. You're going to reach your heel down towards the mat, just straighten the leg and come out of that and then reach the other. We're going to stretch the back of the leg. Feel your Achilles tendon stretch. Try to keep the pelvis very still and do not collapse the chest. We're going to keep pushing the floor away with your hands and raising your sit bones up towards the ceiling as you do this calf stretch. Now we're going to reach both heels down towards the mat, scoop the belly in, and begin to walk the hands in towards the feet until you're in a forward bend. Relax your neck and shoulders. Then we'll place the hands on the backs of the legs. We're going to engage the core and knit the ribs and flatten the back up. Keep your chin round, but flatten your back. And then keep that back flat as you slide all the way up. Lift up tall. Feel the crown of your head reaching towards the ceiling. Relax the chin down towards the notch of the neck and gently retract the ears towards the wall behind you. And then we'll roll the arms out in the sockets, externally rotating at the very top of the arm. Keep knitting your ribs. Squeeze your shoulder blades gently and relax the arms. And that'll do it. See you. Thanks for coming. I'll see you tomorrow morning, Saturday morning. Right. Take care. Hey, Tracy. Bye.